If you've been playing games as long as I have, and you download a new one, and you're bombarded immediately by battle pass offers, skin offers, and you are astonished at how things could have strayed so far from what they were, you're not alone. This is the effect that Fortnite had caused. This is the fault of Epic Games. Now, I am not here to disparage Epic Games. They are actually a good company, really great at business, but that's not what gaming was originally. Epic Games was a revolutionary company that did a lot of good, but equally a lot of bad to the gaming industry. We're going to talk about all these changes and how they've affected every single aspect of gaming for us. So, from loot boxes to battle passes. Before Epic Games came out with their lucrative battle pass offers, that hadn't existed anymore. That had never existed prior to that. Before that, the main way that games that were typically free, but it wasn't really a thing at the time for there to be free games, was through loot boxes. This is due to CSGO and how their loot boxes had made Valve billions of dollars by that point. So other games were like, let's capitalize off of that. One of the main people were Fortnite and Call of Duty. Overwatch and Call of Duty, my mistake. Overwatch and Call of Duty were big proponents for battle passes. Loot boxes. You see how integrated this has become in our minds and in our brains? It's honestly disgusting. They would hide all the good skins in pretty much every single consumable case you could think of. And they had a whole bunch of really bad skins that you could get for free, right? But now Fortnite had come out and the Battle Pass offered almost equivalent of the legendary skins you would get in other games in a free package from just $10 of spending. And early in the days of Fortnite, you could just buy the Battle Pass one time, get enough credits, and buy it again. It was a no-brainer, a great offer, and honestly, a net positive for gamers everywhere. Free game, great offers, cheap rewards. I would always say yes to that. We want things to be cheap. We want things to be cost-effective. We love things like that. The problem is, now, without a Battle Pass or something similar, the games don't function. The game's function is now to make money. Another thing that Fortnite did was they were insistent on collaborating with as many companies and as many organizations as possible, which is not a bad thing. We always invite company collaboration, but the problem with doing incessant collaborations all the time means that there's only one incentive for everyone there. That is to make money. It is not to create a cool new art piece. It is not to create a limited time offer that is supposed to add something to the game. The only function of a collaborative piece in gaming is to make money. Now, like I said, nothing wrong with that. Making money is normal and it is okay for games to want to be profitable. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is if everyone's only in it for the money, nobody's in it for, you can say, the right reasons. Maybe that's a purist way of looking at it, but if you've seen it, cash grabs are that and only that, a cash grab. They're kind of nasty in its nature, and that's what companies have started doing. Next would be the free gaming model. They didn't invent the free gaming model, not by any means. Before them, PUBG was out, but they didn't have any kind of monetization system even close to what Fortnite ended up creating. The free gaming model is nice because it makes games accessible to everyone. It makes games accessible to every single person who wants to play a game. Now, I am all for accessibility. We need more accessibility. I think free games are a net positive. I get to play more games, you get to play more games, and if you don't want to spend money, you don't have to. The problem with that is because these games are free, they have to monetize somehow. And that's when they started kind of bringing some parallels to mobile games. Mobile games back then were free. They were very much free. But they were considered kind of downgraded secondhand games that didn't offer much value and were just trying to constantly take your money. And that's what Fortnite kind of adopted. Now, every time you download a free game, you're bombarded by offer after offer for battle passes, for new skins, for new upgrades. And it's very annoying because now there's certain games, like mobile games, are taking it a step further to be pay to win. Fortnite, Overwatch, Call of Duty, they are not pay to win. Even Valorant, CSGO, these are not pay to win games. You don't have to get a skin. The game is played equivalent to whether you have skins or not. The problem is there are mobile games that are now strictly, almost exclusively pay to win. That is new. That is not common. But we've let this slide. We've let this run on for a very, very long time. And now every mobile game you download is pay to win. The game I'm playing right now, Clash Royale, has a battle pass and it is pay to win. There's a big joke in the community that talks about the Evo credit card because there's evolutions in the game, there's heroes in the game that are only accessible if you spend not ludicrous amounts of money, but definitely a lot of money to get those results. Now, it's okay for games to monetize this way. It's kind of scummy, but it's fine. The problem is they don't monetize in good faith. They always do this. They always just have free-to-play games, pay-to-win games, and they just shove these offers down your throats every single day, any chance they can get. That sucks. For someone who did enjoy games a long time ago without needing to pay, it sucks. And because of Fortnite, the growth of the gaming industry has been unprecedented. Games are now more profitable on average than movies. That has never happened in the history of gaming. That wasn't the invention of games. It is not really what games were meant to be. They weren't meant to be these big cash cows that they have now become. They were originally artistic pieces by smaller companies to give a niche audience, not just a voice, but an opportunity to come together and play a project that was designed by a few hundred people. And they were given an opportunity to play something that a team's heart and soul went into, to be able to develop and create something, honestly, a beautiful project, worth playing, worth seeing, worth documenting, worth sharing with others. Now, games are no longer like that. Generally, games are just considered cash cows that are here only to serve one purpose: generate as much revenue as possible, increase shareholder value. So the commercialization of gaming has honestly been extremely sad to see. And games are not what they were once designed to be. Games are now just a vessel to make more money on top of an already, previously known as niche community for other people. In conclusion, games are not an artistic expression or collaborative project, but a new money-making machine designed to capture whales and profit forever. It's very sad to see what games have become, but look at this. Every single offer you could possibly think of, and they're not even shameless. They used to use credits to hide it. It's no longer the credit system. They are trying to capitalize off of you any chance they get. Any chance they get. They want to take as much money from you as possible. Even this game has a battle pass. It's honestly disheartening to see, but this is what happens when capitalism goes on and is left generally unchecked. If you like, you just subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.